Hi there, welcome to your bonus pack, Dyna mode. Why is it a bonus? Well, Dyna mode will do in dynamic or animated form what graph mode did for us before. If you remember, we put several functions into graph mode back in graph mode part 1 and 2. If we thought about putting into graph mode the function x plus 1, and then maybe the function 2x plus 1, and then the function 3x plus 1, the graph mode will draw these all statically. They'll sit on the window just in static form all together if you highlight them all together, or one at a time. And we could have a look at what the number in front of x, the coefficient of x, does to this straight line. I wonder if you remember they're all straight lines. And here, from your basic algebra, this is the slope or gradient, which gives the steepness of that line. Okay, so we could do all that in graph mode, but the exciting thing about Dyna mode is that it will display these dynamically. It'll move from one to the other. So let's go and have a look at some of that excitement. So first of all, I want you to choose Dyna by hitting 6 on the keypad or scrolling to that position, and then hit execute. So we come up to a window, as you might realise, very similar to the graph mode window, and in here we can put our function. So what we want to do now is to say, well, what sort of function might we like to represent these changing numbers in front of x. So we would maybe say we want ax plus 1. In other words, we've introduced another variable, another varying thing for the calculator to look at. It's got x and how y changes as we change x values, and now it's got another variable a. So what we need to do is to actually enter this into y1. So there's a variable a. Can you find it here on the screen? There it is. Variable. So let's enter this function first of all by saying, remember back in I think Equa mode, when we wanted to choose that icon, we found we needed the alphabet because it had a next to it. So alphabet key and then this key to choose a, so we'll enter that now, and then the variable still is that same button x. So we'll enter that, and then plus and 1. So we've entered a new variable there, a. So I'd like you to enter that now, and hit execute, and you'll see it's been highlighted on the screen there by that equal sign, meaning the calculator is ready to draw the graph of that. We need to now define that variable by hitting F4. So I'd like you to do that now, and you can see it's saying that the variable a will start at 1. Well, let's accept that. We need to tell it which numbers we want to put in there as well. So let's say here we're going to go to set by hitting F2. And at the moment this one's set up to start at 1, that's okay, but I don't think we want to go to 20. What do you reckon, 1 to 5 maybe? So I need to scroll there and enter 5 and hit execute, and I think we'll keep steps of 1, because that means x would start at 1, then go to 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. So if you can enter those, here we have it now, starting at 1, ending at 5, going up in steps of 1. So that looks good. So if we execute that now, then we've got that situation there. So that looks good. We need to now say, well, how fast do we want the animation to go? That's a speed. So if we hit F3, then we have these options here: stop and go, slow, normal, fast. Let's choose normal by hitting F3, and then we can see it's chosen up here as dynamic speed is normal. So if we hit execute again down here. We've got it set up with starting at 1 normal speed. Now there's only one other thing we have to watch, isn't it, when we're drawing a graph, and that is our view window. Will our window be big enough to see a good picture of our function? So what I'd like you to do now is to hit Shift F3 to access that view window now, and here we are. Well, you can see this calculator is already set up with a familiar looking view window. It's actually the initial view window, isn't it? Quite a handy view window to start looking at a graph of any function. So if yours isn't like this, I want you to hit F1 so you do get that view window. And then if you hit execute down here, then we're back to here and we're ready to go. So we've got everything set up. So we want the graph to draw this dynamically. So what I'm going to get you to do in a minute is to push F6, and then it will load the information on that you put into it. So I'll say, 1 moment please, as it's loading, and then you'll get your animation. So if you hit F6 now yours is moving. This is a screenshot. This video is based on a screenshot of the calculator, so mine is static, but yours would have started at X is 1, X is 2, X is 3, and it will be moving up and down here. So quite an exciting set of graphs coming up now, all going through 1 on the y-axis. I wonder if you remember your algebra regarding that. But the changing slopes are changing the steepness. So quite a good way of looking at transformations or changes in graphs with Dynamo to see what's happening there, and then maybe try to explain them mathematically. Okay, so that's quite good. Let's stop the animation. To stop the animation you have to push AC on there. So I'd like you to do that, and we'll come back to this screen. Then if you hit exit there, then it'll come back to this screen here. So what I'd like you to do now is to scroll up to that function using this button and then delete it. So deleting it is F2, and then they'll ask for confirmation for F1. So I'd like you to do that now, and you're up in that top row again. And let's play with another function perhaps. What about something like ax squared? We've seen a little bit of the x squared graph back in, I think, a function called x squared plus 5x plus 6. But let's just look at x squared and play with the number in front here. We'll call that another variable. So let's enter that now. So remember alpha, and then this key to get a, and then this key again for x, and then let's square it to get x squared. Now if you push execute, we will have that, and now we're ready to just graph it. We won't change the settings. Let's keep it still the same, a from 1 to 5. So if you hit execute, you will have a dynamic picture here. Again, mine's a static one. Dynamic would be x squared and then 2x squared, 3x squared, etc., going up and down like this. So that's a bit of fun. You can see that number in front of x squared is actually stretching the graph in the y direction, up the y-axis. So if you now hit AC on, then exit, then you'll come back to this window here. Now your function will still be in there, so I want you to again delete your function and then confirm with F1, because what we want to do now is to try and make that x squared graph dance along the x-axis. Now what we're going to do is enter in here now, let's say this, x take a all squared, and see if we can make the function dance along the x-axis. So again, the a is our variable. We'll leave the settings as they were before, but let's enter this function now. So in this y1 position, we need to hit a bracket, then x, then take, and a then is the alphabet key, and to here again to get that a, and then close the bracket. A couple of ways of doing the square. You can either use x squared or you can use hat and 2. So I'd like you to enter that now, and you can see we've got that one entered there, and if you hit execute again it becomes highlighted. There, and now we're ready to graph it. We won't change any of these here. Let's keep the setting the same with the definition of the a variable and the speed. So all we have to do is hit execute. Yours will take a little time to load. Say 1 moment please, and then up it'll come, and it will be dancing along the x-axis. Now mine's static, as I said, it's a screenshot. So what has happened? Well, x squared started there, x take 1 squared, x take 2 squared. We made a little critter dance along the x-axis. Interesting effect. And in year 10 you'll learn a bit about why, or be able to explain why that function will dance along the x-axis. Well, this is probably one of the most exciting presentations for the calculator. I certainly hope you have enjoyed these presentations. This is actually the last one, and I have enjoyed presenting this for you, and I really do hope you get lots of fun from the Casio 9860 Plus graphics calculator. Cheers for now.